ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור
קום והתהלך בארץ, בתרמיל ובמקל.
I don't want to kill an innocent, and I don't want that my soldier will kill a kid. I assume that no one here killed anyone during his life. I killed a lot of people. I fought in a lot of wars. A taxi in Bethlehem. You know Bethlehem is 10 minutes from here. Very close. Not a cab, a car in Bethlehem. We have a chopper on the air, and we know that inside the car there is a terrorist. Abu Jihad. We know his name, everything. This is a terrorist. But the pilot says that inside the car he sees 4 kids with the terrorist. Shoot or not to shoot? What do you think, by the way? Shoot or not to shoot? Shoot. Okay. The answer is not. You see the gun? There is a Kalashnikov, a gun, here. You see, this is a gun. Okay, so the guy is a terrorist. Now, in the second that the guy is on the stretcher, let's see what happened to the gun. 1, 2, 3, and... Oh, from now on the guy is what? 70. It happened all the time. That's the best time to hit the guy. So what they're doing, they grab a kid in one side of the street, running with him to the other side, and throw the kid in the other side. Now you are my sniper. What is your name? Bob. You are my sniper, Bob. Half mile from the area, you won't shoot. The kid is waving, you will see. You won't shoot. And the target is very, very small. So you can see it here. Here the tanks, the guy tried to grab a kid, and the kid is yelling, leave me alone, I'm afraid, leave me alone. So he took another one. Running with him to the other side. Bob, you won't shoot. You won't shoot. From half mile, it's a very small target. So he's running to the other side, and saw the kid in the other side. You can see it here. I've seen it tens of times. Everywhere. They're using kids. Collateral damage. We are trying to avoid collateral damage. Ambulances. They're using ambulances everywhere. Every time that you attack an area, you can see 2, 3 ambulances in the front. Usually not to bring pregnant women to hospitals. To bring ammunition, to take terrorists. And we won't shoot an ambulance. Unless I know for sure that the ambulance is only terrorists, but I don't know from the tank, I don't see from the tank. We have here in the right side a UN ambulance. A UN ambulance with the flag, with the sign of the UN. I will tell you later how they got in a UN. This is not a stolen one. Let's count together how many terrorists enter one UN ambulance. We have 2 inside. We have the driver and near the driver. So let's count together. So we have 2 inside, and now we have the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. This is an ambulance, or this is a terrorist carrier?
לתת לך תמיכה מכל היהודים מקליפורניה, וגם אני עושה תפילות למען גלעד. יש לי שאלה.
Right here, and I'm just going to read you an excerpt now. Josephus, first of all, he's writing history of the Jews. This is not at the time that he's alive. He's writing from before his time, and he's writing that a king guy who was actually an emperor. His name was Pompey. He was a general. You guys heard of Pompey, right? Pompey conquers the country, and he comes to fight against the Jews to sack the temple. Yes.
Ron said we had this war. So peace is important, yes, but it comes after religion. It comes after this religious war against Israel. This is the message coming from the top of the political establishment in the Palestinian Authority.
من سيدنا آدم عليه السلام إلى سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم هذه السلسلة الممتدة تمثل دعوة التوحيد، تمثل رسالة الإسلام. الأنبياء كلهم أبناء دين واحد، وسيدنا عيسى عليه السلام ولد في هذه الأرض وعاش في هذه الأرض، معروف ولد في بيت لحم وهكذا، فهو فلسطيني بامتياز. نحن نقدر سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام، نؤمن به عليه الصلاة والسلام كإمامنا سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Okay, we believe him like Jesus as a prophet of Islam. Basically what they've done is they've erased all of Christian tradition here, is that Jesus was not a Judean. He didn't even preach Christianity or whatever he preached Islam. So it's a total stealing of his identity. So they're not just stealing Jewish history, they're actually stealing the Christian identity as well, turning him into something that gives them a history, gives them a land, and then he becomes a Palestinian symbol. So, now, this is, on one level, there's a whole other aspect to denial of Israel's right to exist. This is all really on the nationalistic level. Word occupation is used very differently, and look, here's one example on a children.
انت عايشه من سكان القدس، انت بتروحي بتزوري المدن المحتله مدن 48. انا زرت الخليل. لا الخليل يعني بتقدر تحكي مدينه احنا بنقدر نفوتها كلنا. من المدن المحتله يعني زي الرمله، حيفا، يافا.
Okay, occupied. These are the occupied cities. All of Israel. No recognition of Israel's legitimacy in any borders, and that's what the Palestinian kids are growing up on.
Okay, it's a framework which is very difficult to leave from. That they'll always ask any Palestinian, they will talk about occupation, because once they are within the framework of talking about occupation, it's a subject which I could say it's not occupation, it's disputed territory. Wow, that's really going to be a subject that we're all going to like on TV. Sheila has just turned the channel, okay?
Walk down New York, an Israeli like me all of a sudden, and in 2 seconds you meet someone, you start talking, and you find out he's a fellow Jew, and all of a sudden you're part of the same family. The downside is that we don't have enough warriors sometimes.
My kingdom. My name is Mira. I'm part of this memorial center.
In your kingdom, can you turn up the air conditioning?
Yeah, in a few minutes. This center is dedicated to do analysis or research about the Palestinian terrorism. Park Hotel, Terrortech in Passover night, in which a suicide bomber came with a belt and he killed more than 30 people, celebrating Pesach, Leila Seder. And the day after, our forces, or our government, decided to enter the West Bank, especially Jenin, because most of the suicide bombers came from Jenin. I tried by the stuff that you see around you to understand the propaganda, how they create a mind of terrorists. This is the main idea of this display. We have 2 rooms, this and the other one, and if you'll be good, we'll go to the other one. This is Abdallah Azzam. Abdallah Azzam is the spiritual mentor of Mr. Bin Laden. Few words about this guy. This is Palestinian guy. He was born here in Palestine. Israel, we are...
A few months ago, a year ago, we found an image of rubble. Reuters love rubble, okay? They love the rubble and barbed wire, okay? We found an image of a pink teddy bear, maybe some of you remember it, sitting pristinely clean on a pile of rubble, okay? It's the cleanest bunny you've ever seen. I want to, you know what? Something's not right here.
What was it? Teddy bear.
A bunny rabbit. A teddy bear.
A toy.
A cutesy little teddy bear. Like, it's that the Fisher-Price logo they did. It was that new. It was clean, squeaky clean. And squeaky clean.
Did it have the price tag on it?
No price. The price tag was gone. Okay, because they kept throwing it up in the air.
This is
There
from
was still
Macy's.
threat. In any event, we said, you know what, something smells fishy here. And photo bias has become a new section on our website, which you can't find because it's buried so deep, but it will be front page shortly. Images, the camera can lie in ways, and it's not all about photoshopping. Okay? It's not about making smoke rings and all that famous stuff of the Second Lebanon War when extra columns of smoke were put in or extra missiles coming out of planes. This was about people using kids' toys to try and stage the contrast between collapsed family home and Bunny's the only one that survives, or not.
The PhD from Bar Ilan University. Dr. Kedar is an academic expert on the Israeli Arab population. He served for 25 years in the IDF military intelligence, where he specialized in Islamic groups.
In Medina, he tried to convert to Islam 3 tribes of Jews who dwelled not far from Medina in an oasis named Khaybar. Why? Because if he succeeded to convert them to Islam, this would shed legitimacy on Islam because they, as Jews.
Where does a professor at the University of Michigan, who has very, very few Jewish, if any, Jewish friends or Muslim friends, doesn't know much about the Middle East, never been here, where does she get off teaching Palestinian resistance poetry in her literature class, translated into English, and going, obviously, on her off hours with demonstrations for those poor Palestinians? Where does that come from? Where do the opinions of some of our political elite, the advisors to presidents like Obama and Secretary of State Clinton, let alone they themselves, Obama's an avid consumer of the media,